Welcome to AWS IT training for IT professionals. In this video, I'm showing our members how to access your AWS Cloud Practitioner course. In this YouTube video, we have compiled lecture number 3 with a lab video. So if you remember, you can come to your course and do this kind of like separately, watch the video first, then watch the lab video, and then perform the lab. As you can see, I'm showing you this. When you click on the lab, your lab will open up like that. But before doing that, you should really cover the video. If you are watching this on YouTube, this is all compiled. These two sections are compiled. It's almost 1 hour. So you may want to do this kind of like, in step by step. If you have free access, if you have paid access, just like I'm showing right now, then you don't really need AWS account. You should really use your access and perform it exactly how instructor is doing it. Do know that things may change a little bit, so keep that in your mind and do your research before you start this course.
Hello and welcome to AWS Cloud Practitioner lecture number 3, which is EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud. So let's see what we are going to cover in this session. So what is EC2 and the options, what is EC2 instance type, IP address and EC2 instance, lab and topology. So these are going to be very small sessions because we are more focusing on the lab. So let's head over to the next slide, which is talking about the EC2 instance Elastic Cloud Compute Cloud. Okay, so what is Elastic Compute Cloud? It is nothing but Elastic Compute Cloud is a web service that provides secure, resizable compute capacity in the cloud. It is nothing but a virtual machine sitting on AWS. Imagine if you have to run an application, what are the things required? So let's suppose in case if your location is physical, okay, you didn't get the AWS services, then let's suppose if you want to deploy one Oracle server, what are the things you are going to need? You first of all, you will go in the market or you will do online survey to check specification so you can deploy your Oracle server. Then you will go to the market and then you will purchase one server. Let's say it is Windows server with some very good specifications. Then you are going to buy some hard disk drive separately. Then you are going to of course make a plan that it should be redundant, because if one server is down, you must have another server ready for you. And then you are going to purchase some hardware accessories for that. Then you are going to purchase some licenses for that. Then as you can see, the list is so long. Means if you will go through, but this is what the AWS is providing us. They are giving us the online instances which are called EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud, which is nothing but a virtual machines. Like you can deploy Windows server, you can deploy Macintosh, you can deploy Ubuntu server, you can deploy Linux server. So you can do anything, and you can do every possible thing in a fraction of a second or even a minute. So this is the best part of having AWS. So what are the EC2 options? Let's suppose if I am going to deploy one Windows server, let's take it for example. So what are the options available on that? So first thing is on demand instances. This is pay by the second for the instances that you launch. Also can be used for testing purposes, for example 1 or 10 minutes running state. So this is the thing that we are going to use in our practice lab or in our lab throughout this program, because this is the cheap. And in case if they want to pay, I have to pay by second. For example, I use that machine only for 1 hour 10 minutes, and after that I am going to terminate that instance. So for 1 or 10 minutes, the time I use, I'm just going to pay for that. Okay, so this is called on-demand instance. Then we have reserved instances. Reduce your Amazon EC2 cost by making a commitment to a consistent instance configuration, including instance type and region, for a term of 1 or 3 years, but multi-tenant environment. So this thing is not going to be dedicated. because the word is multi-tenant. So multi-tenant means we are going to pull the resources from AWS, okay, which can be used by anyone, okay. But the best part is means you can use it just for a term period like 1 or 3 years, okay. So you can sell it in a future if you want, you can sell it. Require when we have persistent application need to run. So this is the requirement. But as I said that reserve instances are good if you are going to use some application that is persistent, but in terms of 1 or 3 years, okay. After that, because this is a multi-tenant, if somebody want to take it, you can sell it as well. After that, we have spot instances. Request unused EC2 instances, okay. So maybe on AWS we have many unused instances, so we can use those as well. That is called spot instances, which can reduce your Amazon EC2 cost significantly, okay. So you can purchase the instance by bidding options. Application has specific start and time to use. Let's suppose if you are using some application which has some specific time period you want to use. After that, what you can do, you can put it on a bidding, and some other company which is think that this is very good device already, everything has been installed on that, they can purchase that one, okay. After that, last but not least, we have dedicated instance. Pay by the hour. As the name suggests, dedicated, it means this is going to be some physical server, okay. This could be a physical server as it's mentioned here, okay. And then you can buy it by the hour, okay, and you can pay by the hour for that. Run on a single tenant hardware. All licensing will be your responsibility. So it means we are going to purchase that hardware box, the device, then this is our responsibility to pay the licensing for that as well, because these all other instances, they are come with the licenses. But maybe the one that is we are going to get as a dedicated from the AWS, we are going to pay by the hour, and also all the relevant licensing, we it is our responsibility. So EC2 instances types, we have many EC2 instances types when we are going to deploy. For example, general purposes. So general purpose, as the name suggests, so these are very general purpose instance type we can use, and they are denoted with these letters like A, T, T3, T1, T2 micros, because T2 micro is the one we are going to use frequently in our lab, and these are also denoted with M letter as well, M4, M5, something like that. Then we have compute optimized, where we need computation. These are denoted with letter C, okay. So this is the representation, okay, where you need more CPU power, you can use these instances. Where we have to do with a memory like a RAM, okay, these are represented with the R6G, R5, R5A. So it is totally up to you what kind of your business requirement is, and on top of it you are going to deploy these instances. Then we have like maybe in somewhere we need storage optimization. For that we are going to use these kind of instances. Then accelerated computing, sometimes we need like a video graphic adapter, visualization, virtualization. This is where we are going to use accelerated computing, denoted with P, I, G4, G3 and F1. IP address of EC2 instances. So once we will deploy EC2 instance, it is going to have private IP address, which will be taken from where, the VPC, okay. So first let's talk about the private IP addresses. This is retained when the instance is stopped. When you will stop instance and you restart that instance, this IP address will be there, used in a public and private subnets, okay. Whereas on other hand we have public IP addresses lost when the instance is stopped. So this is going to be very important concept. So whatever the public IP address will be assigned to your EC2 instance, when you are going to reboot or stop that instance, this is IP address going to be lost and you are going to get with another new public IP address. So used in public subnet associated with the private IP address on the interface. There, the third option is elastic IP address. So this is the alternate of public IP address, because public IP address is lost and there are some scenarios or cases we do not want to lose our public IP addresses. So what we need to do, we need to have elastic IP addresses, which is what? It is static public IP addresses. You are charged when not used. So this is also one of the very important aspect, or you need to note down. You are going to charge when not used. If you have allocated elastic IP address but still you haven't assigned it to your EC2 instance, you are going to charge with that, and you can check from the AWS website how much they are going to charge on your hourly basis or even by minute basis. Okay, so be on a lookout on it. Can be moved between instances and elastic network adapters. So if we have multiple regions, or sorry, availability zones, or multiple VPCs inside regions, we can move that elastic IP address accordingly. So lab time, we are going to do the lab from AWS computation services. Okay, the better option is just follow me, because I'm going to use some particular lab scenario, which I will take you to the end. Okay, so follow me. In case if you want to get more information, you just can go through this exercise number 1, which is AWS compute services. The topology is very similar to the last one. We are going to have one JSS VPC. In AU West 1A, we are going to have one Windows instance on, and Finance AZ also we are going to have one Windows instance, which is connected with the finance routing table, and this is connected with the marketing routing table, whereas the marketing routing table is going to have the internet gateway. So with that, your EC2 instance session ends here, and I'm going to hello and welcome to EC2 lab. So this lab is going to be the continuity of VPC lab that we already covered in our earlier session. So we have created, if I will show you the topology, so we have created the VPC, and inside VPC we have created two availability zone, one marketing and one finance, and then with the marketing availability zone, we attach marketing routing table, and with the finance routing table respectively. Then we created one internet gateway, and then we attached that exclusively with marketing routing table, but we didn't attach internet gateway with a finance routing table. So if you have already gone through my previous session, then you might be very familiar with this the environment. If you are not, then you need to go back to the that lab, VPC lab, and then I will recommend that first you go through that VPC lab and then please come to this lab. So now our task is, we are going to create one EC2 instance Windows server inside my marketing availability zone, and another one in our finance availability zone, and to verify then whether do finance have reachability to internet or no, and how about the system that is in marketing availability zone, do it have internet access or no. Okay, so this is our objective. So let's go back to the practice lab, AWS management console, and as you can see, we have one VPC that we created. If I can show you, click on the VPC, JSS VPC is there, the subnets that we created, finance and marketing is there, then routing table is there, marketing routing table and finance routing table, then internet gateway that I attached with a marketing routing table. If I can show you very quickly from here. Okay, so this one is internet gateway is attached to my marketing, whereas finance routing table does not have that internet gateway attached. Okay, now we need to create EC2 instances. For that, click on service and click on EC2. As you can see, currently there is no any virtual machine is running. So click on instances running. and no matching instances found. From here, click on the launch instance. So we are going to create one device for us. So let's name this one marketing server. Let's make it give a name so we can identify marketing server. And from here, we are intending to use Windows, okay, because we are quite familiar with the Windows. And then come down and instance type, we will keep free tier eligible because we do not want to waste our money on just for the testing purpose. We can use free tier. Okay, after that, uh, just a minute because my internet behaving very slow. Okay, so this one we have already covered. This is going to be your T2 micro free tier eligible instance. Okay, then key pair. Okay, I'm going to create one key pair because the authenticity and security is required to access any AWS EC2 instance. For that, we need to create a key pair, and you are going to name it like JSSKP, and this is going to be your PEM file. Okay, so you can access the system using SSH. So PEM, you are going to select PEM. If you want to use a PuTTY, then you are going to select PPK. But for this lab, we are going to use PEM. So click on create key pair, and as you can see, it is downloaded on your local window machine. After that, these are going to be your network settings. As you can see, my network is under JSS VPC and the subnet is associated finance subnet, but we do not need finance subnet. So click on the edit portion and select the marketing subnet because this is what we are looking for. After that, we also need to have the public IP address so we can SSH. So click on this drop down and click on the enable. After that, we need to create the security group, and security group, if you are familiar with the access control list in a Cisco environment. So this is the same thing like what is the inbound traffic you want to accept and what is the outbound traffic or this kind of thing. Okay, so we are going to create our own security group and just name it JSS security group, and also change the name here as well for the consistency. Security group. Okay, so these are going to be by default security group. So what it is saying, it is saying the type is RDP, which is remote desktop protocol. Okay, RDP, and we know that RDP works under protocol which TCP. Just a minute, sorry, my system is behaving very slowly, so just I need to go a little bit up. Okay, so the type is RDP, the protocol is TCP, and the port range is 3389. And if you are quite familiar with the port ranges and well-known ports, then you might know that 3389 is reserved port for RDP. So this traffic is inbound. Whenever somebody is trying to access this EC2 instance, this is going to be inbound traffic. So this is we are going to allow. Okay, after that, storage we will keep it like 30 GB. Okay, and in then that's it, and click on the launch instance. If my all settings are correct, then it is going to create the instance very quickly. As you can see, the micro marketing server, sorry, the marketing server is in pending state. So meanwhile it is going to create this instance. I'm going to launch another instance which is going to be belong to finance department, finance server. This is also going to be Windows. Select Windows, and all other settings will be pretty much same, but we need to check whether okay, for the key pair we are going to use the same key pair that we created for my marketing web server. So if it will allow me and only I can, because I don't know, because I am accessing this server remotely and my region is far away from uh, the server that is I don't know sitting where, maybe in United States. That is why this is very slow session for me, but don't worry, in your case it will be very fast. And under key pair, I'm not going to create a new key pair. I'm going to use the same key pair. Okay, just select JSSKP, and then inside the edit settings I need to click on the edit and just verify that we are in the same VPC domain and my subnet belongs to the finance, because this is we are going to create for a finance department. So we should be in the finance availability zone. Okay, then also enable this IP address so we can SSH that device or can do RDP. And the security group that we already created, so click on the select existing security group, and this is the one that we have already created for the marketing. So we will keep the setting same for this as well, and just click on the launch instance and click on view all instances. As you can see, my first instance is up and running. When you will see status check 2 by 2 / check passed, it means your instance is available and you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, and just keep refreshing about the second one, which is in a pending state. Okay, so just click on this marketing server and just take a look the information or the summary about this marketing server very quickly. So as you can see here, the private IP address is 10.0.1.119. If I will show you the topology, we said that marketing availability zone should have the IP address scheme from 10.0.1.0, which is taken from the main JSS VPC CIDR block. And as you can see here, the information is correct. Another thing, because I enabled the check for having auto IP address, public IP address, so that is why you can see we are going to have one public IPv4 address. After that, we also can check some other stuffs like, do it have elastic IP address? No, and we are going to discuss that one in subsequent labs. This instance is T2 micro. Okay, and if I can come down, and the subnet ID was given from marketing subnet. Okay, this instance detail is, it is platform is Windows, and some another information like the key pair. This is the key pair, and you have to keep this save. By the way, I have already downloaded it. If I can show you From here under download section, as you can see, I have already downloaded. You have to keep this in PEM file save always. If you will lose this, you are not going to log into your EC2 instance. Okay, so just keep it in mind. Okay, so that's it. I think this is pretty much it. So I will continue. So refresh and let's see if another instance is running or no, not yet. So just to verify, click on this finance server and you can verify the information. And as we said, the finance should have the subnet from 10.0.2. If I will take you back to my topology, the finance should have the IP address scheme from 10.0.2.0 subnet. So it is already given. And this is because we enabled public IPv4 address, so we can RDP this instance. So that is why we enabled and it is given. After that, you can verify this is T2 micro instance, which is free tier eligible. The subnet ID is taken from the finance subnet. The platform it is going to use is Windows based, and the key pair is from JSSKP. So without wasting any moment, if now you can see status check is 2 by 2, so both instances are up and running. Now we have to access marketing server for the verification purpose. So first let's go to the finance server, because this is the one which does not have internet access. So select this one and click on connect. Just ignore this error message. Click on the RDP client. Okay, from here you need to get two things. One is password, another one is download remote desktop file. So click on download remote desktop file. As you can see, the RDP has been downloaded, so we can access this. So just click on this one and click on connect. As you can see, we do not have internet access, so that is why we cannot RDP this server. So just cancel this one, and let's go to the marketing server this time. Click on this one, click on connect, click on RDP client, download this remote desktop file and click on this remote desktop file and click on connect. Since we had internet gateway attached with marketing department, as you can see, it is asking for the credentials. So from where we are going to access get the password from here. So click on the get password. So this is where that PEM file is going to be handy. So upload that PEM file which we downloaded earlier. Click on downloads. This is the PEM file. Click open, and here we need to decrypt this password. Click on decrypt, and this is going to be our password. Okay, so click on password copied multiple time, click on this one and paste that password here and click OK and yes. So now you can see we have reachability to that marketing server, by the way. So give it some time because it is just initializing. Okay, so far so good. We have verified that marketing branch or availability zone server have reachability to RDP as well as internet access, whereas the finance department web server uh, we didn't attach internet gateway with that one. That is why that is not accessible. To verify the IP addresses, what we can do, I can click on start, then I can type ncpa.cpl. This is another very handy shortcut to take you to the network settings. By the way, from here you also can verify. Just a minute. I'll take you. This is the one 10.0.1 because 10.0.1 we dedicated subnet for the marketing availability zone. Okay, and this is under EU West 1A. Another verification you do from here, right click on the status and details, and you can correlate, as you can see. Okay, then how we can access finance department? We know that we are now, if I can show you the diagram, we are now in a marketing AZ and we can access from outside. For example, this is my machine from where I am doing RDP. Okay, so it means I can reach to the marketing availability zone. Now, do you think from here I can access the finance availability zone? Should be. Yes, because we have this routing table that is locally significant. Okay, so locally we can reach this whole VPC, but from RDP I cannot. If I want to access this finance server which is placed here, I cannot access because the security group or the access control list. Okay, so to verify this thing, let's go back to the lab, and you can see now we can reach to the marketing server. From here I need to access the click RDP, and now from here I need to access what, the finance server. Basically, to get that the IP address and everything, I need to go into that instance. So just click on instances, select finance because that is the one we are interested in, and we need to uh, click the private IP address because this private IP address is the one that has the reachability. Okay, so copy it again, and now come to this one and paste it over here and click connect. As you can see, we have access. Now click no, not click, but type administrator, and the password I'm gonna get connect RDP client, get password, upload that PEM file. Then we need to decrypt the password, and we have the password here. Just copy this one, come here and paste it over here and click OK. Now you can see this phenomena or this procedure is called the jump host. Okay, first we jumped into the marketing department or the availability zone. Now we have the reachability there because from RDB we can access marketing. Okay, then locally we know that locally we can route easily, so that is why we first jumped into the marketing availability zone. From there we locally accessed our finance web server. So that is called jump host. So let's do the verification and then we are going to finish this lab. So just give it some moment. So I just want to verify the IP address scheme, okay, and the availability zone. So as you can see, the subnet mask is 10.0.2. So this is the one that we given to finance department or finance availability zone, and that is inside EU West 1B, that also belong to finance. Okay, so this is how we verified that the marketing, when we created or when we attach that marketing availability zone with the internet gateway, we have the reachability, whereas a finance does not have reachability. And also uh, we did a jump host by accessing marketing availability zone web server. With that, we accessed the finance web server, and also we learned how to create EC2 web server instances inside AWS. And with that, our EC2 lab ends here. I hope this has been informative to you.